Okay, so blink twice. This is the new film from Zoë Kravitz, which she co-wrote with E.T. Feigenbaum. The film is produced by Channing Tatum, Tiffany Pearsons, Garrett Lavette, Zoe Kravitz, and Bruce Cohen. It's executive produced by Jordan Harkins, Stacy Persky, and Vania Skulgal. It's associate produced by George Scarles. Co-produced by Aaron Himmelstein. With some line production from Gildardo Martinez and Brian M. O'Neill. Okay, so Chanda Dancy took care of the music. Adam Newport Bearer was on cinematography. Catherine J. Schubert edits the piece, while Carmen Cuba and Alejandro Reza took care of the casting. Production design is Roberto Bonelli. Art direction is Derek A. Hecker Diaz, with Fatima Diaz Oliveira on set decoration. Kirsten Hardgorda is costume design, with Carla Viral, Christine Erda Piletiata, Paulette Sandoval, Louis Philippe Moreno, Steffi Martinez, Evelyn Corona Leo, Sergio Baron, and Gary Archer taking care of hair, makeup, dental, all of that good stuff. Okay, so our cast. Frida is played by Naomi Ackie. Her best friend Jess is played by the great Alice Shawkat. Right? We've then got Slater, played by Channing Tatum. With his buddies Vic, played by Christian Slater. Cody, played by Simon Rex. Tom, played by Haley Joel Osment. Lucas, played by Levon Hawke. Slater's assistant, right? Stacy, played by Geena Davis. Oh, there's Rich as well, played by Carl MacLachlan, and Stan, played by Cris Costa. Now we've got our other guests, let's say, right? So we have got Sarah, played by Adria Arjona, Camilla, played by Liz Caribel. There's Heather, played by Trew Mullen. Yeah, I think that's it, right? There's the MC, played by Saul Williams. The maid, right? I think the main maid we see is played by Maria Elena Olivares. The interviewer, played by Tiffany Parsons. The rude manager, played by Aaron Himmelstein. Ben, played by Ben Jacobson. Caroline, played by Caroline Forsyth. That's probably our main lot of people, okay? So the gist of the film, people. When tech billionaire Slater King meets cocktail waitress Frida at his fundraising gala, sparks fly. He invites her to join him and his friends on a dream vacation on his private island. It's paradise. Wild nights blend into sun-soaked days, and everyone's having a great time. Nobody wants this trip to end, but as strange things start to happen, Frida begins to question her reality. Something is wrong with this place. She'll have to uncover the truth if she wants to make it out of this party alive. Oh my days. Now, this is, firstly, it's the feature directorial debut from Zoë Kravitz, right? And it is, hold on, what was I saying? Rah. I just completely blanked out there, people. Ain't gonna lie, right? Anyway, yeah, it's the feature directorial debut from Zoë Kravitz. And it's really interesting, right? I think this is a very interesting piece. Now, it was originally that's what I was going to say. Now it all becomes good. It was originally meant to be called Pussy Island, right? But then they changed it to Blink Twice. And I think Blink Twice makes sense, but also Pussy Island does make sense. It is a little on the nose. You know what I mean? It is a little on the nose. So I can see why you might change it for other reasons than, you know what I mean, marketing and all of that jazz. But what they want to do with this film, obviously, look, it's a commentary on society. And when you look at certain things that have been in the news, we can draw comparisons. I feel we can draw comparisons. I feel it's speaking to a certain culture. And that's just culture in general, not just Hollywood or anything. This is just, the nature of some people, right? Thinking that shit's deserved, right? And no harm, no foul, right? I mean, well, when I say no harm, no foul, I mean, if no one remembers, no foul, right? If no one wants to speak about it, no foul. That's the big thing here, right? They say forgiveness is... Wait, what was it? Forgiveness is a blessing. I think that was it. It was along those lines. Shit, my memory, people. Boy. But, yeah, it's interesting, right? Because we've got Frida, who, she wants success. I don't think we know how long she's been doing the thing for. So there is that, right? Because everyone wants success. No one wants to start something and be like, but no one's paying attention, right? You want all them eyes looking. But here's the big thing. How much work have you put in? Right? How much work have you put in? Because, shit just does not pop off straight away. On those, there's a rare occasion where it does, right? You hit just at that optimum time but it doesn't always go like that. So sometimes you have to put in time, right? You got to put in time. And that could be a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5, right? It can take time. There's some people that didn't find success until in their 40s, right? I believe, I might be wrong, I believe Felicia Pride was 40 when Really Love finally got picked up and made, right? I might be wrong in that, but I feel I'm right? And look at her now, right? She is shining bright. And that's the thing. So we open up with Frida, looking for this, and then she manages to get into a gala, into the inner circle, into, right, an invitation to this island, which, boom, when you're thinking about it, be like, yo, I'm in the room with people. I'm in the room with people that could help blow my shit up. So you can see why she might do it, right? And then on the island, I mean, it's kind of crazy. Everyone's in the same garms, right? In the same garms, which is, you might, like, that's a big thing. None of the girls are like, yo, why are we all wearing the same fucking outfits, right? Why are you dressed us up like Vestal virgins? What's going on? Now, all of this, it's not broken down, but I think you can understand why as the film goes on. You know what I mean? So it all makes sense. But yeah, it's, they are living that life. It's hedonism. You know what I mean? They're partying, they're drinking, they're blunting. You know what I mean? They're doing mushrooms and other shit, eating the best food. Man, they are loving it. Right? And it's really interesting with how everything is done, because everything is bleeding in. There's no clock. We don't know how long they've been there, right? No one really knows how long they've been there, but we have kind of, a lot of close-up shots, right? The cinematography on this is very good. It's very good. We got all these close-ups that draw us into the action. You know what I mean? We're just focusing on the person. Right? It's really good. And the other thing, right? Everything is just amplified, right? The music, the sounds, everything. So when we do these transitions to like next days or something, a lot of the time it might be a clink of a glass, right? The cutting of something, which then, boom, brings the focus to this next and be like, oh, we're here. Oh, whew, okay. And that's the thing, because Frida is just like, she has no clue what the fuck is going on. It's just like, oh shit, wait, I'm at breakfast again? Oh, okay. And so it's moving like that, which is, a really, really good way of doing it. Now, as the film goes on, there is a point, right, where we suddenly see color. And what I mean, color in the clothes. Because obviously everyone's wearing white. Now, suddenly, we get some color in the clothes, which is interesting. And we get wider shots, right? I think as perception comes, like, I think these changes here, which definitely are like, you're like, oh shit, okay. What's going on? Because you have this idea, but it's like, okay, so how are we making that transition? How are we going to do this thing? And yeah, I think it is smart. It's smart what they do. You know what I mean? I think this is crafted quite well as a film. There are some issues, right? There are some issues. Like, when you're making this kind of commentary, firstly, success isn't a given, right? Success isn't you know what I mean? Like, oh, everyone deserves it. No, 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 no. You earn shit. Now, obviously, right? There's some people that are given access to, right? It's not a meritocracy. I think that's the word I'm looking for, right? It's not fair, but in theory, you know? And when you're making certain deals with people, and you know these people are shabby, why the fuck are you making that deal? Right? So Frida, because we know something is up with Slater, right? He's on this apology tour. He's done something. And, you know, the film does kind of highlight apologies do not mean shit. You know, especially in a fucking press conference, right? The way any apology comes from, whether it's Hollywood, the corporate world, any of these things, it's all staged, right? That person has been sitting, getting coached, right, by the comms team. I know because I've done it. You know what I mean? You coach people on how to give talks, right? How to come off in a certain way. So apologies aren't real. Apologies aren't real. So the film kind of highlights that. But Frida she knows what these people are, but she still is desperate for success, so she goes with them. So there is that. The other thing, there's this thing that happens towards the end. Now, I really did enjoy the way, let's say, the spell is broken, and especially when it comes to to other people. I'm just saying that, but there's this sequence towards the end, and it doesn't necessarily make any sense because it's all hedged on one thing. And if that one thing is not done, it's going sideways. And you can't guarantee someone's gonna do that one thing. So that's messy. That's messy as fuck, right? Also, the very end, again, I get what is being done, but it's kind of like, how? Because, you know, we see one thing from the angle of Slater, but there's no, oh, this is how it's done. So then, you know, to finish, to supposedly be going like, oh, now, you know, we're doing it this, I don't know. It's a bit messy, but it also, because there's a bit in the film towards the end again, where it's kind of like, if you know certain grime is going on, but you're not saying anything, and you're letting other people suffer because of your silence, you're kind of, well, you're not kind, I was going to say you're kind of a piece of shit. No. You're a straight up piece of shit, right? You're helping enable stuff, which, again, it's that commentary, right? On things we have seen and heard and, you know, watched play out in front of us. So we have that scene. But the very end is essentially the same thing, right? It's the same thing. So it's kind of like, right, you're trying to make this smart film, right? You're trying to make this smart film with the commentary, right? Something like, you know, what was it? It was 20th century, on the boat, woody triangle of solitude, no, sad. I think it's Triangle of Sadness. The Menu, which is, man, that's a fucking good one. Funny, both, I think, no, not 20th. I think they're both Searchlight, right? I feel they are. Interesting. But both great films. Great film. Actually, I don't think Triangle was. Menu was, though. Anyway, you don't need this shit. People, anyway. Right. Now, these films making these statements, right? And they were smart and clever. And I think Blink Twice wants to be up there with them. And it makes a bold play. Makes a bold play, people. But it doesn't, you know what I mean? I think it flim-flams on certain things, you know, as a point mentioned, right? The accountability and, you know, the actions and boom. So I think, you know, those things become a bit shaky. The acting is great. The acting is very good, though. You know what I mean? We have a lot of real solid, good, you know what I mean, components of this film, right? Ackie, Tatum, Shawkat, right? Slater, Rex, Arjona, Joel Osment, like Caribel, Hawke, Mullen, really good. Like Davis, man, like everyone's really good. And I bring up the Lucas character. The Lucas character is very interesting as well in what is said about him. Because that is very, very fucking true. That's very true. You did nothing. That's all I'm saying. But when you see that bit, it's fucking true, man. Fucking true. Right? But again, it kind of speaks on the end. Right? It speaks on, which makes the end muddy. Right? Which makes the end like, wait, so what are we saying here? You know? But that's the thing. It's an interesting film. Right? I think we take some swings. There are some misses. But I think Kravitz does a great job in her directorial debut. So if you're on the fence, if you're not quite sure, I would say give a look to Blink Twice, right? If you liked those films mentioned, like the Triangle of Solitude, The Menu, you know, films such as that, right? Adaptation was a great one, right? Like, if you like those kind of films, then I think you will enjoy Blink Twice. Now, as I said, it's not as good as those films, but it makes a bold effort. Right? It's in cinemas, people. Let me know what you think.